Here's another example of a bus route that got amended by TfL, and again I just don't understand why there was a need to do this. That route is the 67. The 67 is a bus route that runs from Wood Green to Dalston Junction, and if we're being honest, it's a very short route. It takes literally no more than 30 minutes if there's no traffic, or even less than that. However, the 67 actually used to go a lot further than Dalston, and actually used to go all the way to Aldgate. Now, if I'm being honest, I really don't understand why this route had to get cut back, because it going to Aldgate actually was really useful. In fact, it was one of the only buses from Aldgate that would take you anywhere around. Just having a direct bus route to take you into the city of London from like Wood Green and etc. I guess it came pretty handy, especially in the case that the tube isn't working or that there's tube strike, or if you just don't want to take the tube and if you're going for a night out and there's a bus that can just drop you outside your front door, shopping, all of those things. Now, back in 2019, the 67 got cut back to Dalston Junction, making the 67 pretty useless between Dalston and Stamford Hill. Between Wood Green and Stamford Hill, that's the only bit that really gets used. Because the section between Dalston Junction and Stamford Hill is also served by many other bus routes, of course other passengers have different options, and if they see a 67 they'll hop on it. It's just one of those things. The Aldgate section for the 67 got replaced by the 242. The 242 actually used to run from Homerton Hospital in East London all the way to the West End and Tottenham Court Road. But it actually ended up getting cut to St Paul's, not far from St Paul's Cathedral. Due to the 67 being cut back to Dalston, there was obviously no way you could get from Dalston to Aldgate, so the 242 ended up doing that route. And it's been doing so since 2019. However, the 242 actually used to be a 24-hour bus route, but because of these changes, the separate night route called the N242 now runs the old 242, if that makes sense. So the N242 basically runs from Homerton Hospital to Tottenham Court Road. All of this may seem very confusing, but it's just TfL doing TfL things, trying to save money and etc. And again, I just never saw the need for any of these changes, because now that you have the 67 only going to Dalston, and then you have the 242 doing what the 67 used to be going to Aldgate, the only missing thing is that link between Dalston and St Paul's or Tottenham Court Road. So it just means passengers are forced to change buses, whether it be in Shoreditch to get a connecting bus to go into the West End, or just end up taking a tube. You know what, like, it is smart thinking of TfL, because if you're trying to get to the West End and you're trying to find an easy journey, you're just going to end up taking the underground or the overground. And I'll be honest, it is frustrating, because I know 2019 was a big year for quite a few bus rates having big changes to them. And again, it's just one of those things where money comes first rather than the passengers. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that thinks that these bus routes were fine the way they are before TfL amended these changes. And obviously it's been over 5 years since these changes have happened. People have obviously adapted to it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you want the 242 to go back to Tottenham Court Road, or should it stay the same? And do you want the 67 to go back to Aldgate, or somewhere in central London at least?